Hello YouTube, D-Deckin here, and if there is one consistent thing I always try to do, that would have to be making a video talking about every pick gift that's come out ever since they've started. And as someone who's made a video talking about every single pick gift as they've come out, as they've started, I can definitely say that this pick gift is very, off, to say the least. And what I mean by that is, first and foremost, ever since the pick gifts come out, there's always been an anniversary pick gift. Like, there's always been a pick a gift around the same time as the anniversary of Duel Links. Which, you know, that's something kind of cool, something kind of celebrate. And, of course, last month, we didn't get that. Last month, we got a different sort of event where they would give us gems and they would give us ultra rare tickets, which is technically an upgrade to a pick a gift. So, you can't really complain about that. That having another pick a gift would be... They would either have to neuter it to a point where there isn't any gems, or they would have to, like, make it really short, so there really isn't a point, right? And then, like, a week or two ago, we had the Keys Cup. So, they couldn't do a pick a gift then, because that would mess up with the stamps ticket that was going on. So, you know, there's that. And then, you know, 5 days ago, there was Valentine's Day, and, you know, they didn't have it then either, and so, this event feels very, very pushed back, like, so pushed back that usually the time between two pick a gifts is, on average, keyword here is on average, about 6 weeks. Sometimes it might be 8 weeks, sometimes. But usually the average is 6 weeks, right? The last time we had a pick a gift, it's been like 7 weeks. It's been about 7 weeks since we had the last pick a gift. So not only is this pick a gift like delayed, this is like our delayed anniversary pick a gift. It's not a Valentine's Day pick a gift. It's not, like, what is this? Like, it's the only thing I can really think of. Like, has the virus that shall not be named been pushing back so many things, like the 35th anniversary of Mario, the movies in the theaters. Like, now they're pushing back the anniversary pick a gift in Duel Links. Oh, sorry, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's just me trying to make sense of it all. But any case, hello, D-Deckin here. Now, normally with the pick a gifts, the idea behind the pick a gift is you pick your own item. You pick whatever item you think is best for you, and that's fine. That's kind of a... I used to say that a lot, and I think I've stopped trying to say it as much, just because it's very repetitive, and I'm trying to see different things every time. But someone actually commented on my last pick a gift, asking like what free items I recommended, and unfortunately, I proceeded to make a 15-line comment replying to them about it, and haven't heard anything since. So I'm assuming that I should probably not do that. But nevertheless, since somebody did ask what items I recommend, and this is sort of the first pick a gift of the new year, I might as well, like, talk about it. Sure. I might as well just go through, try not to make it too long. Like, oh gosh, this is like the 5th time I've tried to record this, and I'm not trying to make a 20-minute video talking about pick a gift. I'm going to try making this, I'm trying to go as fast as I can with this, okay? That is what I'm going to try swearing to. So, day 1. Gems, skill chips, gate keys. Okay, first thing first, ignore skill chips. Just ignore skill chips, because while I like the concept of skill chips, the problem with skill chips is the fact that it's completely RNG, and that it has a limit, and it has a cap. Like, you can only have a maximum of 300 skill chips, right? So, if you forget about them, like I have, like, prior to this pick a gift, I did not know I had 221 skill chips. It's just something that's collecting in the background. I didn't know. But now that I know I have 221 skill chips, it's been like, oh, I gotta use them. Like, it's a very reluctant thing, and I feel like what could make skill chips better is they remove the random aspect of it, right? So, for example, like, if you take a character, right, and you can spend 100 skill chips to give them a generic skill, like life boost, to randomly get a generic skill, right? Or either random or just pick a generic skill, right? Like life boost alpha or draw sense light, draw sense dark. 100 skill chips, that'd be fine. But with 200 skill chips, right, you can get one of their exclusive skills, or even 300. Like if they're gonna have a limit cap, like, make it worth it. Like, give people a reason to, like, actually want these. But otherwise, I kind of feel like it's just kind of there. So I do not recommend skill chips whatsoever. Then there's gems versus gate keys, and so the argument behind gems versus gate keys is 50 gems. You can get 50 gems right now, no string attached. Gate keys, however, get you about 19 level 40 duels at the gate. any character, you're gonna have with any character, you're gonna have to also pay like their attribute keys and whatnot. But you can play 19 level 40 duels, and if you max out on like the number of like drops you can get from that, that's like 8 drops times 19, which is not doing math because I don't want to, but that's no, don't want to do math. You can get a lot of rewards out of that. But the thing about level 40 is the higher you go up, the better the rewards you get are. So with eight rewards every time you get a level 40 duel, you also have an increased chance of having gems drop. And gems on level 40 characters can be anywhere between 1 gem to like 15 gems at the rarest. So in theory, completely in theory, you could make more gems out of those 19 duels at the gate than 50 gems. You can if RNG is on your side, those 19 duels, you can get that 15 gem slot every single time. Complete RNG. That is technically possible. It's technically possible. It's just extremely rare and extremely unlikely. And that's the problem. While you can hit gold every single time, you can also flop every single time. Those 19 duels, you might only see like 3 gems. And that's it. So it's a matter of it's a big risk reward when it comes to 2,000 gate keys. And not to mention, there's also the time and effort and energy that puts into actually like grinding out those 8,000 points. Because if you're going to do 8,000 points, you're playing a farm deck. That's what you're doing. You're playing a farm deck, and you're trying to get that every single time. And sometimes, the AI might like do something that might counteract your farm deck, and you miss out on that one duel. Well, that one duel can matter. So it's a risk reward thing where either you take the safe option of 50 gems right now, or you risk it all to get more gems. And I don't use more risk. You take the risk, you spend the time, and just not get it. Like, there's a chance you just don't get it, and there's a chance you could get it, or there's a chance you break even. That's the chance you take, and because it's such a high risk and such a high time investment, it's not really worth it. Like, it'd probably be fun to try once or twice, but it's not really worth it in the long run. That's what I'm saying. Like, granted, you can duel them more. You can constantly duel them more after the 19 duels with your own gate keys, but you also don't have to. So, there's that. Oh gosh. I spent way too much time talking about it. Let's hurry along. Days 2 and 3 like I predicted last time, they recycled Master Knight level 5 and Master Knight level 7 from the last Pick a Gift. And also what I predicted last time is that they had, because of the Casey Cup, because of the anniversary, they had special tickets that had these cards exclusive to them. So naturally speaking, that was a good opportunity for you to get glossy copies of level 5 and level 7. Perfect opportunity. If you didn't pick up level 7 last time, or you didn't pick up from the glossy ticket, now is a good time to grab these, because honestly, the side rewards are not as... You don't have to worry about the side rewards for them. And the reason I say that is, the idea behind the 200 rare jewels is that if you don't like the rare card they're offering, and you want to convert it, instead of just converting it for the 1 rare jewel, you can just get 200 rare jewels. And that's cool. Or if you don't like the rare card, you can go get the rare ticket. But after a while, if you have everything in the rare ticket has no value. Which is why I always preach for the rare ticket to be a glossy rare ticket, because at least that's something different. But nevertheless, and then day 3 is kind of a joke. Like, it's just a joke. Just pick the card. Gold is an invisible currency you don't need. Honestly, like, you have gold, it doesn't matter. Like, you have gold. Like, you can't see it on the top of my screen here, but I basically have 28 million gold, or something ridiculous like that. And I don't use it. Like, you use it, but you also don't use it. Like, you use it for just the card trader shop, and that's it. And you at most, you might need like 100,000. But again, after a while, you just start collecting gold. You don't use it so much, you just start collecting it. And after a while, you don't need it. Like, you get gold from duels, you get gold from events, you get gold from pickups, you get gold from everywhere. The game constantly gives you gold. You don't need more gold. If the option is to get more gold, you don't need more gold. Like, you just don't. It's a joke. It's literally a joke. And then there's the extra life crystal, and let me just say right now that none of the crystals are really worth it except for the result booster. The result booster you can use during certain events where your duel assessment gets multiplied, and that gives you more points. At that point, the result booster is useful, but otherwise the other ones are not really as useful. Like, the experience boost can be good if you're trying to level up a character fast, and the extra card can be kind of neat if you're just trying to have fun, or you're trying to get an extra card like a Raigeki or Pot of Greed. But other times, the extra card can sometimes give you crap, and sometimes and the problem with extra life is you can easily burn it. Like, you can equip it and use it, but then not use it. Or you can equip it, use it, but your opponent has another 2,000 attack point monster they're going to attack you with. So that 2,000 life points it gives you back doesn't do anything. You just immediately lose. So extra life is a safety net that if you don't need it, it gets wasted every single time. But if you do need it, it's helpful. So it's not worth it. It's none of the crystals, they're not really worth it either. Like, you just don't. You get them. You just don't need them. Talking about day 4, the gems. Just gems. Day 5 is actually very interesting. So, Cyber Gymnast. Cyber Gymnast is an Alexis level up reward, and the really cool thing about that is, I believe you were able to get a second copy of this card either in a past pick a gift or some sort of card flipper event. Like, you were able to get a second copy of this card, and this is your chance to get a third copy, right? And what's really cool about this card is, I remember using this card in this is going to sound weird. This is going to sound completely weird. I use this card in OG Ancient Gear. Like, original Ancient Gear. And when I mean original Ancient Gear, I mean before Reactor Dragon, before Gear Town was in the game, I was running Ancient Gear. And, I was running Ancient Gear Beatdown. That is what I was running. I summoned Ancient Gear Knight. I equipped Galaxy Blaster. Galaxy Blaster made an Ancient Gear Knight plus Castle, a 25 beat stick that I waited one turn. Next turn, I normal summoned it. Galaxy Blaster made it 2,700. Attack, don't have to worry about back row. Bam, hit my opponent. Don't underestimate OG Ancient Gear Beatdown. But I used this card because this card was not only a level 4 monster, you can normal summon, or you can tribute it into an Ancient Gear Beast if you let it sit for a turn. But it's a Raigeki break as a monster. It's that good. It's also level 4 Earth Warrior, which you can do a number of different things with. A level 4 Earth Warrior is a really good combination of cards in Duel Links, because you can do a whole bunch of things with it. If you have an Earth Tuner, you can go into level 2 Earth Tuner, you can go into Barkion. It's level 4, so you can generally make a lot of high synchro plays with it as well. Because it's level 4, you can make a lot of rank 4 exceed plays with, if you summon Photon Thrasher or you have a Dinithium in your hand prior to that, you can just go into rank 4. And it has an 1800 butt as well, so you can also just set it, and if your opponent doesn't summon a big monster, bam, they hit into it, not only does it get to live, next turn you can just pitch a card to pop whatever monster you attacked into it. So it's a very much of a sleeper card if you're not careful with this card. It's very much a sleeper card. Not to mention, it's a warrior, so you could sack it off into Silent Swordsman to start getting the boost off for that. You can activate Neos Fusion to fuse this card off into it. You can normal summon this card, pitch a card for to pop an opponent's monster, and then go into Neos Fusion. You can, oh gosh, you can technically, okay, that's gonna sound really weird. You can normal summon this card. You can pitch your Alistair to pop an opponent's monster, and then you can go Invocation to banish the Alistair to go into the Earth Fusion monster, and then get Alistair back into your hand. This card is extremely versatile. It's very simple and very versatile. It's just, I'm surprised it doesn't see as much play. It's a decent card. It's a decent card that can be splashed into a number of different things. Even if you're running Red Eyes, it's a warrior monster you can run in Red Eyes. And sure, I guess you can pitch your Red Eyes to destroy an opponent's monster and then set Red Eye Spirit to revive it back. There's a number of different cards you can play with this. There's a number of different things you can play with this card, and honestly, it doesn't say discard a monster. It doesn't say discard spell or trap card. It just said discard one card. And there's a lot more graveyard recurrence in this and nowadays dueling. So there's a lot of different versatility you can play with this card. And sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. But now I want to talk about this card, Xyz Raypiercer. Xyz Raypiercer is technically a part of the Xyz archetype, which is an archetype of cards that revolve around cards with Xyz in their name. I know there's one card that lets you search Xyz cards, which is, pretty cool. Xyz Raypiercer has... So, I mentioned that this pick a gift is very off, and this card is probably why. This card is another reason why it's very off. So, what this card does is you banish a dragon and a Wyron monster from your graveyard to summon another Xyz Raypiercer from your deck. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you burn your opponent for damage, right? That's what this card does, right? So this card is also a Pick-a-Gift exclusive right now. The only way to get a copy of this card right now, is through the Pick-a-Gift. So the question is, why? Why would you pick this card? If that's like putting Reborn Tengu in your deck when your deck doesn't revolve around Wing Beast or doesn't have a second copy of Wingborn Tengu. Why would you run Wingborn Tengu then? Reborn Tengu. Like, this card, by having this card in your deck, you can't use its first. You just can't use its first effect. Not to mention, even if you could use its first effect, why would you? If you can use its first effect, why would you then use its second effect? Because its second effect specifically states when it's sent from the field to the graveyard. Right? Which, cool. That does not work with Exceed monsters. Exceed monsters, when you use their Exceed materials are treated as underneath the field. So it's sent from the underneath the field to the graveyard. You don't proc its burn effect. So, like, the only reason you'd want to run this card then is to sort of bait your opponent into, like, getting rid of this card before you Exceed play, right? So they get rid of it before you make your Exceed play, so you can't make your Exceed play. And if they destroy it, well, then you burn them damage. That's the idea, right? Well, then the question comes, why would they pop it beforehand? Like, no, seriously. Like, no, seriously. People, when they use Karma Cut, they use Raigeki Break, they're going to use it when you Exceed summon because your extra deck space is limited. So they're going to wait for you to summon that monster so they can do something to it, right? Why would they do it beforehand? If anything, it's going to be a deterrent. Like, it's an annoyance. Like, why would they, like, unless you're going Mace Stroke, right? You can't go Starlace Paladino because Starlace Paladino requires light. And you can't go, like, Constellar Omega because Constellar Omega requires light. So the only monster you can possibly make to bait out, like, the Raigeki Break or whatever is Mace Stroke. And Mace Stroke doesn't even bait out, like, Karma Cut. So, like, why would you, just why? And if you have Exceed RAYPIERCE in your graveyard, obviously, like, they're going to use Karma Cut to get rid of these cards. Sure, like, why run this card? Like, I get it's a fire level 4 dragon. That's a good combination of cards, but why would you run it? Not to mention, if you want to talk about even more off things about the Pick-a-Gift, and this is going to sound, like, very weird, right? So, the Mask Warriors, right? Warrior, Cyber Gymnast, right? Warrior, Exceed RAYPIERCE, Dragon, right? Let's get weirder. Mask Knight has a mask on. Mask Knight level 7 has a bigger mask on. Cyber Gymnast, right, has a small mask on, right? Dragon. Like, the only redeeming factor I can probably get to this card is Mask Knight, damage. Cyber Gymnast, pop a card. Exceed RAYPIERCE, damage. Like, why is this here? Like, don't get me wrong, I will never say no to, like, an exclusive card coming out in the Pick-a-Gift because, like, that's the reason why you pick the card. Because it is an exclusive card you can get right now. Or you can wait to get it later. Like, that said, why would you pick this? Like, this is a literal why would you pick this other than just to have it? And I find that very annoying. Like, there's no point picking it because, like, you can't use it. Like, it annoys me. Like, because the idea behind a Pick-a-Gift is to weigh your options, but there's no option here. You just get gems. Like, this tells me two things. This tells me one of two things. Either one, Exceed RAYPIERCE is going to be available in some future event where, in like a card lottery, where if you have like 100, of that event points, right, you can spend it to get your second copy of Exceed RAYPIERCE to then use the effect, right? Or it's going to be a part of the next Pick-a-Gift, like the Mask Knights. It's going to be up here with the next Pick-a-Gift, and at that point, why? Like, what's the point? Like, just, I'm sorry. And not only that, you have to like, what deck is Dragon and Wyron based that you would run it in? Like, we don't have Yang Zing right now, or at least I hope we don't. I could easily be mistaken, but we don't have Yang Zing right now, and like, what are you using it in? Like, be honest. Like, how are you getting this effect off? Like, it's a very off choice for a Pick-a-Gift campaign. Like, it's nice because it's new, but that's just it. It's just new. Like, at least with Mask Knight level 7, you can get Mask Knight level 3 from the card trader, and then you can immediately make this card. Like, it is viable. It's viable on start if you decide to not pick the gems and get this card. It's viable. But it's, like, Exceed RAYPIERCE, it isn't. Like, it's an investment pick. You get it now to get your second copy later, and then You might get your third copy later on, but then why? Like, what deck are you running that has Dragon and Wyvern in it to specifically make use of this first effect? Like, and then why would you run it for its second effect when there's stronger dragons already in the game? And even Unexpected Die is a card that's been used more and more often. There are stronger vanilla dragons that you can also use, and just... I'm sorry, I know I'm rambling, but it's like, why? Any case, day 7, gems. Day 8, I don't know what I'm even picking. Day 8 is the hardest day of them all, but what do you think of this pick a gift? And what do you think of me sort of like going through each of these items and talking about them? Let me know in the comments, and if there's any way I can improve or do better, let me know about that too. And if you happen to watch this video for 20 minutes, just thank you. Thank you very much. And honestly, yeah, have a good night.